Hopefully this video finds you kind of winding down for the year. I know that's what I'm doing. I'm filming the lessons for the year and just kind of closing up shop, getting ready for what I call holiday hibernation, where I basically turn off all devices and I just hang out with family and friends. Hopefully you're doing a little bit of the same. And this time of the year, I always find myself not just looking back at kind of the year I just came through, but also looking ahead and figuring out, man, what do I want to do next year? Not resolutions. I don't like resolutions. I like goals. So I like figuring out like just one thing. Like, what's that one thing for the year that I really want to get done? That's like, if I get to the end of next year and I'm like, if I did that, then I had a successful year. What is that one big thing? And so that made me think, man, what's your one big thing? When it comes to your drumming, what is your one big thing? You know, I was privileged to have a conversation with Roy Burns. He called me, this was probably a couple years ago. He called me out of the blue to actually compliment me on my snare sound, which if Roy Burns calls you to compliment you on your snare sound, guys, whatever you do, like lock it in. That is the snare sound. But Roy called and we were talking and we had this great conversation about the one thing, and I don't think he really knew he was dropping knowledge. Like, you know, I love talking to old school cats because they drop knowledge and they don't know they're doing it. Like they drop these knowledge bombs and you like blow your world up and they just kind of like go on drinking their coffee or whatever. And so Roy and I were talking and he said, man, he was talking about you know, technology versus back in his day, and he said, man, back in my day, you know, we took one thing, we'd get that one thing and we would squeeze every bit of juice out that we could out of that one thing, one sticking, one concept. We just squeeze all the juice we could out of it and get as much mileage out of that as we could. And like, you know, he continued talking and I was stuck there. I'm like, man, so often we're so busy being overwhelmed with kind of the digital age and all the technology we have, and it's all good if it serves a purpose, but if we're just running around, you know, trying to get 80 things done and never getting one thing accomplished, what's the point of it all? It's not a tool, now it's just a distraction. So I want to ask you, you know, what is your one thing this year in your drumming that if you focused on, you would see the most improvement? And all of us tend to think like there's some magical topic. There's really not. It's pick one thing and go with it and dig as deep as you can. And if you'll do that, you're gonna see crazy, you're gonna see just crazy amounts of improvement in your playing. I promise you that. Like, I'm living proof of that. If you asked 50 drummers what their one thing was that got them to the level, what was the one thing you practiced, you would have 50 different answers because everybody has a different path. Not all 50 are gonna go, well, if you work page 1 of stick control, you know, if you do syncopation in these 50 ways, everybody's got a different way to get there, okay? They've all got different vehicles that they've gotten there. So there's no wrong thing. The wrong thing is not picking a thing. That's the wrong thing. So as like kind of you're winding down, hopefully, and just spending time with family and friends and having time to just kind of think, that's some of my favorite times, just thinking. What's your one thing for 2017 that is going to get you to where you want to go? Think about that. And even post in the comments below. Maybe you already know, like, you know, it's this. I really want to focus on this year. Put that down in the comments. As well, I wanted to remind you, I've got a kind of a Christmas present for you all. It's a lesson series. I've got it filmed up. I'm actually putting the finishing touches on it today. And it's just on Ghost Notes. It's mastering Ghost Notes. It's a 4-lesson series, and it's gonna go in depth on the topic of getting your personal mix, all the different techniques: jab, punch, jab, things I call active and passive ghosting, and we're gonna go into what's the one thing. How do we take ghosting and make it the one thing? And so I would love to share that with you. The link is below, or I'm sure there's an annotation somewhere on this video that you can click on to that. All you need to do is just reserve your spot and let me know where to send it. Again, that's just my way of saying thank you for your attention and for the love and for the community that we've built. And don't forget, put your one thing below there. I hope you're having a great holiday season.